Takes a big story to knock Joe Biden off the front at the moment, but this one's pretty big too. Joe Biden remains defiant. He's promising to return to the campaign trail next week even. That's despite a growing number of Democrats calling on him to drop out. Let's go to Trudy McIntosh live in Washington, D.C. for us this morning. Good afternoon where you are, Trudy. So what's this all up to?
Well, Pete, President Biden is well and truly under siege at the moment. It seems like every hour here in America today, we've seen more Democrats come out publicly and call for him to go. But Joe Biden doesn't seem any closer to making that decision. He is holed up at his home in Delaware. He's been there, not seen publicly since he went into COVID isolation on Thursday, your time at home. But his campaign is pushing on regardless of what his Democratic colleagues believe is in the best interest of their party. We saw this statement today, the first one we've seen in some time from President Biden. He says he looked forward to getting back on the campaign trail next week to continue exposing the threat of Donald Trump's Project 2025 agenda while making the case for my own record. Mr. Biden adding that the stakes are high and the choice is clear. Together we will win. More than 30 Democrats now, though, believe that campaign can't go on, and for it to go on is only going to make things worse. We saw this morning an interview, a lengthy one at that, by the Biden campaign co-chair, continuing to publicly make the case for Joe Biden, despite the fact that he trails in every battleground poll at the moment.
We've definitely seen some slippage in support, but it has been a small movement. And you know this. The reason is because so much of this race is hardened already.
But those comments are actually being viewed by those who know Biden well as providing him a public space for him to make up his own mind over this weekend and do that on his own timeline. People refer to Joe Biden as a particularly stubborn and proud man, that he needs to get to this decision on his own. And adding this pressure doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to simply fold. As for his COVID health, his physician releasing a statement on it today saying he has significantly improved over the last 24 hours. He's still got a cough and he's got a hoarse voice, but they say his vital signs are all doing well. There's a fascinating ad campaign going on at the moment. It's super PAC's paying for this, but we don't know exactly who. It's targeting an audience of one, just the president. These ads are being hyper-targeted to Delaware and here in DC in the hope that the president, while he's sick, is watching and will hear this message.
It's time to pass the torch and let us choose a new nominee.
One who can bring new energy, new hope,
and make sure Donald Trump never gets near the White House again.
Our country's future is in your hands.
So please, be the leader we know you are. Pass the torch, Joe.
Pass the torch.
Pass the torch.
Pass the torch.
If he does pass the torch, the obvious replacement would be his vice presidential pick, Kamala Harris. She was out today. She's been spotted with the cameras attending the opening of a new ice cream store here in Washington, D.C. The campaign, though, also has her this afternoon, we're told, on a donor call. So she's been put on that to try and reassure some of the donors who have been threatening to withdraw all this cash. And another sign, the Biden campaign has confirmed, Pete, that they're going to send and continue for the First Lady to go to the Olympics next week in Paris. And while she's there, she's going to hold a fundraiser, we're told, for her husband. So that's going ahead. So doesn't seem at this stage any willingness to leave.
No, that's stubbornness, all right, hanging in there while, as you said yesterday, Trudy, those walls keep closing in. But there you go. He's still there for now. Trudy McIntosh, thank you.